Good morning. I'm Mark Tramadol, and we're going to do a little brain gauge gym tutorial right now. So let's go ahead and share the screen. And here is the here's the menu that you're going to look at. And what we want to do is go to the brain gauge gym. So we're going to select the brain gauge gym off the menu. And then this comes up. Now, a few details to notice. One, it says basics right here at the top. And basics is sort of where most people are going to start. If this is too, and basically this is, there's a little drop down here. It says basic, basics plus, and therapeutic. Basics Plus is kind of an elite level. That's where you go if you master basics and if you're doing extremely well. A lot of athletes use that level and try to get, they want to be in the top 1% for things like reaction time and how fast they can make decisions. Therapeutic, a little bit slower. That's where people start out sometimes when they're injured. But basically that's okay. Anyway, the way that works is level one, the way the whole thing works is level one is the easiest, level five is the hardest. Level one is the only level that has a whole lot of instructions. All the other levels just have cursory instructions. So, a couple other details. This is the exit button. This is a timer. Notice it says 0 right now. I'll demo it in a minute. You'll see that timer tick up. And mostly we recommend 15 to 20 for this. When we say 15 to 20 minutes, a couple days a week is how much you want to do. Well, that timer is the key. And notice this timer only moves while you're actually working out. So how do you think about this? Well, we have different exercises and it's just like going to the gym. So, consider this to be, say, a weight bench, pull-up bar, leg lift, etc. These are different exercises that target different brain functions. Basically, that's what they're targeting. And you want to start out easy and work your way down. Now, also notice left hand, right hand. You can switch hands. Sometimes that makes it harder. Some people like the challenge, and it also helps. It might help, especially if you're just trying to get something working. If you've got a stroke and you're trying to switch hands. But let's just look at left hand. Well, I'm going to stay on my right hand, but I've got my brain gauge right here. I'm going to demo what it looks like when things work. I'm going to click on here. Got my brain gauge in my hand. I'm going to feel a tap on my middle finger, and I'm going to respond with my index finger. You need to know which finger is which. Index finger is your pointer finger or digit 2, and the middle finger is digit 3. And so it's kind of hard to do really good times when you're talking. It's called, it's another level of multitasking. But this is basically what happens when, I'm doing okay on all of these. Now, what happens if you can't? Okay, so I got 100% on that. But what I'm going to do is like, say we go up a little bit higher and you can't do it or you have trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to have my hand on here on the first one. You see what happens. I didn't respond. There was no score. Now I'm going to respond on the next one. I got it right. So I was fast enough. See, for the speed drill, multitasking, you have to respond fast enough or you won't get a good score. So I still didn't respond on that one just to see, so you could see what it looks like. I've got my hands up, not touching it. I'm not responding fast enough. And the reason I'm showing you this is because some people say, oh, it didn't work because all I got was an X. I responded and it still didn't work. Well, that's because you didn't respond fast enough. If you don't respond, if you can't do a level, back off and work out at the level you can. So now I failed at level 4. I'm going to go back to level 3. And this is a level I should be able to do okay. And you work out at the level you can. You don't work out, you don't try to lift. Let's say your goal in the weight room is be able to lift 100 pounds, but you can only lift 80. So you work out at 80 pounds. I'm working out at the level I can. Otherwise, you're just going to get frustrated. You're not going to get feedback. It's not going to tell you whether you got right or wrong or what your time was on the speed drill. On the other drills, you'll get a score. It'll tell you right or wrong. And then multitasking also has a speed component. None of these have a speed component. This has a speed component. You have to answer fast enough. None of these have a speed component. This has a speed component. Basically, and basically, if you want to know what something is, you can always click on the little information button and it'll tell you, it'll give you a little bit of instructions. And if you want to know overall what's going on the whole platform, you click up here and tell you basically what the tests are, which one level is easiest, which is hardest. But if you go here it'll pull up the training platform, and this is some instructions about the brain gauge, and it also will tell you, what you should do. What I recommend typically is work on all the exercises, go across the board, just call it cross training. Start from the left and work your way across to the right. Now, if you really want to focus on just one measure, that because one measure is bad, a lot worse, and all the other measures are fine, then use these guidelines and notice that to get one exercise good, you need to do multiple exercises. So to get one score good, you need to work on all of these. It's and that will improve your score better. So getting better at everything, all working out on across the board and starting from left to right will help you get better. All right. Now let's notice over here is this. I've been talking a lot longer than 4 minutes and 45 seconds. This is only the time I spent doing those exercises. And we recommend at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, well, for at least 2 or 3 days a week. But anyway, I'm going to stop right there and we'll call it a wrap on that one, and you have a great day.